Welcome back to Seabee Land, and it is Seabee Sunday. What a fucking fun day. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. I hope you Seabees are pumped. Well, anyway, let's get on to it. Right off the bat, I lied to you. We're not going to talk about UCT. I actually spoke with my boy, Kennedy, who's on UCT, I think 1, which is in California. They're deployed right now. I'm not really at liberty to say OPSEC reasons. But yeah, he wants me to hold off until he's able to send like a compilation of photos, and then not only that, but be able to kind of guide me through what he thinks I should talk about, you know, to really relay to you guys who are interested in UCT. But also I'd like to get him to talk as well. I don't know if that's a Zoom call, kind of, you know, a collaboration there, but just to get somebody. Because again, like Seabees, we can talk about all day. The 7 rates, like easy day. If you're going to NMCB 11 or NMCB rather, you know, if you're going to CBMU, if you're going to go to a public works, it's pretty generic, easy to any CB across the board to talk about. UCT is a little different. It's very specific. It's so specific that at least in the recent years, the last 3-4 years, they were talking about divers becoming UCT divers, becoming their own rate. Because they're all right, like he's a BU, he's a builder, but he's not like me. I'm not like him. Like I'm just a typical BU. He's a fucking diver, you know, UCT diver, underwater construction team. He's doing surveys and shit underwater and diving and a lot of cool big, you know, big boy shit that I never touched and never could. But yeah, they're talking about getting their own rate, or at least once upon a time they were. I don't know if that's still in the works. But anyway, so we're gonna hold off on the UCT. We're gonna go over just a couple Seabee articles today, and actually what we plan on doing today is a couple of my viewers who are Seabees, one I think is in already, the other one is going. They wanted to talk a little bit about SCWs, but then another one suggested, you know, something about what kind of gear were we using and stuff like that. And I tried to find the photo. I'm going to show you, in other words, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about SCWs, EXW, and going to kind of show you some deployment stuff, you know, photos. We're going to go to my computer and we'll go over it all and I'll talk about it. But it'll at least give you guys an idea who are coming in and want to get your warfare device for, you know, expeditionary warfare, or for, what's the word for Seabee Combat Warfare Device, you know, SCWs and stuff like that. So mine's a little bit of an interesting situation. It happened during COVID while we were on a restriction of movement. So I'll get into that in a minute, but that's what we're going to talk about. I want to give you guys that. And of course, Seabees who are in, or vets, because I know some of you veterans who were in Afghanistan and Fallujah and all that shit are going to be like, we had to break down our rifle in front of our murder board and in front of our final board, and we had to do this. You guys, this is so fucking gay. Probably did. Probably, but that's not helping anybody, all right? Cut that shit out. So we're going to, in other words, comment that shit, talk shit, but help us out. Help other Seabees out. Help these new green guys coming in who are going to be Seabees, and then veterans make each other laugh. You know, come on. Fucking get your act together, gay boy. So, all right. So I'm going to go over with the more serious one right off the bat. And I just got word of this. I didn't know about this, but June 26th this came out. Mississippi Coast Seabee dies in crash with tanker truck in Harrison County. Chandler Beam, 27, was killed when a commercial tanker truck turned and collided with his motorcycle. 27 years old. I'm 31. I cannot fathom that this. I joined the Navy at 27. So the crash occurred 8 a.m. Wednesday, and for my Seabees on the East Coast in Gulfport, you guys know exactly where this is. 8 a.m. Wednesday, Bean was traveling north on Canal Road when a truck hauling water pulled in front of him. Bean struck the side of the truck just north of the Interstate 10 near an Exxon station. He died at the scene. That's insane. Every couple years, every few years, a tragedy happens, it seems, with us Seabees. And a lot of time, I mean, not too recently, a few years ago, I think there was one in Cali that the same thing happened with a motorcycle. dude died on a motorcycle, etc. They push that shit. You guys know that are active right now. It's like motorcycle safety course, like it's they're super over the top with it. And you're always like, bro, calm down, man. Like, I'm gonna ride my fucking motorcycle. I don't need to go to that course, this or that. And that's all, that's all fair. However, be safe, guys. I mean, that's insane. I thought he was going to, because 8 a.m. Wednesday, you think he's going to base, right? At 9 o'clock muster, in spaces and stuff like that. But it says that he was traveling north. So obviously going away from base. Must have had a late, overnight shift. I don't know if they're doing FTX or CPX right now or not. But, guys, just think about being and pray for his family. That's insane. I mean, that's just so obscene. Shit happens, dude. Shit happens, but be safe. We don't know. I don't know the details, but all I can say is, that bee we shouldn't have lost that bee so soon. Fair winds and following seas, kid. I hope you're in heaven and pray for his family, pray for him, guys. I think that's just obscene. It's unfathomable. But yeah, guys, so keep that Seabee in your mind. Mississippi, California guys, not reach out, but throw a prayer out for him, for his family and whatnot. But let's move on. That was more of a serious one. This one's kind of interesting. And this happened not too long ago, but shit happens in 2019 and the courts don't deal with it until 2024. A bribery scheme abusing a program for Afghan allies ends with a conviction for a Navy commander. So a Navy Reserve officer has been convicted by a federal court for his role in a scheme to falsify documents to get Afghan visas to live in the United States as part of a State Department special immigrant visas. This was between 2018 and 2020. Commander Jeremy Pittman, was convicted for 4 charges, including bribery and concealing a money laundering operation. So I'm not going to read through it completely, but essentially the dude was charging $500 to these random Afghani buddies of his, I guess. Pretty much saying hey man, you pay me $500, I will write a letter of recommendation utilizing this special program for visas. In other words, quote, that their lives were in jeopardy and that he did not think they posed a threat to the national security of the United States. Also saying stuff like he supervised them, that they were translators, and who knows if that's true, but obviously they didn't think so. But Pittman is a Navy Reserve officer with the Navy's Combat Construction Community, commonly known as Seabees. What else are we fucking known as commonly known? Oh fuck, the chickens are going crazy. My bad, guys. Might be a hawk out there. But anyway, he's just saying shit, and I mean, that's pretty crazy, guys. The point I'm bringing this up, one, it's in the news. Looks like he's stationed at NMC B-22 in Port Hueneme. As of February 2022, I doubt he is now. He's probably been relieved of duty. But guys, you're gonna get into positions. I mean, that was an officer, but even enlisted guys. I mean, there was shit. You can do sketchy shit left and right, especially in deployment, to make a couple bucks here and there. You're gonna go through your OPSEC briefs and shit like that, and they're gonna tell you what you can do, what you can't do. Do not do this, and they're gonna be very explicit because they know that a lot of you guys are young, 18, 19. You're like, oh, I can make a quick buck doing this, and it turns out it's money laundering. It's something fucking huge, and if you get caught, dude, it's just not worth it. So be smart about what you do. Truly, be smart about what you do in the positions you're gonna hold, because this fucker obviously, didn't think, and if he did think, he's dumb as fuck. So. Commander Pittman, you're kind of incredible to be an officer that high. The commander's not too, but a commander commands a battalion. But to pull that shit, you're making money already. I don't know about I guess in the reserves you don't make money, but compared to us enlisted, officers, especially if you're a commander, I don't know what the rate is right now, but you make a good living. But all right, let's get on to this video. I just wanted to start here with those couple update articles. We're not going to talk UCT, but we're going to head over to my PC, and I'm going to show you some photos of my SKU boards, murder and final boards. I'm going to show you a couple of EXW photos I was able to scrounge up, as well as just general pictures of effects and deployment, my first deployment in Israel, just to kind of give specifically you new guys an idea of what you're going to see in the future. And what you may be doing or how you may be doing it, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll talk about those items as we go through these photos. So I'll see you in my little desktop area. I hope you guys are enjoying these. I'm gonna make an announcement for you Seabees here. I'm gonna do this for a year. That's what I said to my wife. I said, I'm gonna do this for a year, and if it blows up, it blows up, then of course I'll continue, but I'm gonna leave it as like a fucking record or a archive for you guys. I'll commit a year to it if it doesn't, you know, because I got other shit I want to do. I want to go back to school, God willing. I gotta figure out this memento with, you know, the VA and all this new shit happening in my life physically and mentally. So, you know, I gotta keep pressing on. And this could be it. You know, this could be it. And if it is, then we'll see in a year. But if it's still like, you know, I got 500 subscribers in a year, and then, you know, then I'll end it there, because it just takes up a lot of time. It takes up a lot of time, and it takes up just a lot of energy, frankly. And it's great, and I love helping you guys out, but you know, if it doesn't extend the reach it needs to, it is what it is. So let's get to the computer, because that was a fucking gay talk that I just had. But yeah, that announcement will come later. All right, let's just get right into it, okay? So the first thing I'm going to show you is FTX and deployment. It's just, guys, I have a shit ton of photos and whatnot. They're all sprawled out over different phones and stuff, and I have a hard drive full of them, of all these photos, and I just briefly went through some timelines in which I think I could pull some stuff up. So there's a lot more to it, but let's go through it, frankly. And it's going to kind of be grouped together. So I'm going to show you these, and then yeah, so I'm going to show you, I'm pretty much just going to go through each folder and we'll talk about it as we go. So this was in Israel. Let's see, here we go. This was in Israel, and these are some of the guys I went to Israel with, and all of them are still in. No, Donnie's not. So the guy thumbs up is not in. Bell is in. Lamb, I don't know if he's in. Garcia is still in, and Hernandez is in. And Hernandez was a recruiter. So anyway, some of the most genuine, and you're going to see that. It's just like high school. You're going to meet genuine people and really shitty, you know, not genuine people. But these that you see right in front of you are some of the most genuine people I've seen or I've met in the Navy. And they're all great guys. But this was me and a little group. And this is the Dead Sea. So this is Israel. This was deployments, deployment and FTX, and this is Israel. So, and for you guys that haven't gone anywhere, or rather you're coming in and being a Seabee, it's like, bro, put out at home port. It's gonna be annoying. It's gonna be boring. Sometimes it's gonna be really fucking annoying. Just it really will be. Hurry up and wait. But do well. Have a good attitude. I promise you, you'll go on a detachment. I never went to main body. I was always on a detachment. So, you know, follow through at home. That's how you get to these cool places. So that's actually the Dead Sea. And this is what's called Ein Gadi. And this is where David and Saul had where David cut the robe of Saul's robe and was pretty much like, I could have killed you, but I didn't. I had mercy on you. But anyway, great times in this place. And just beautiful scenery, dude. It's mind blowing. The song by Jamie Johnson, Lead Me Home. I cried, dude. I heard it in Israel, and it made me think of this place. Anyway, here's the next photo. This was on March 5th. It was our 79th birthday. Seabees, right? And we had to post it and made a cake. I don't know if we bought that or if somebody made it, but yeah, let's see if I can find. There I am. Wow, so cute. Some great guys, dude. This was a really good deployment. This was right here. He's a tech sergeant. Now he's a master sergeant. He's probably better now. He was in the Air Force. He was our, because we were working for USAFE. We're essentially doing a project for the Air Force for Israel. It was like a joint compound. And him and I worked closely together. He was my contracting guy. Like any money, we were using Air Force money. So I was just like, anything you want it, you got it. And he was really supportive. He was an awesome guy. Was in a band, screamo, just perfect setup. It was like God's grace, but awesome. Hope you're doing well, Ben. I don't know where you're at. He was going to Germany, or he was stationed in Germany when I was in Israel with him. But here's the boss-ass team, I don't know, I guess Ratliff, Senior Ratliff, the AOIC, was taking the photo. But here's Lieutenant Mills, and here's Chief Soothheimer, and he's a Master Chief now, Master Chief. I talked to him this past week. He's still a salty bitch. Good one. He's a good one. And I haven't reached out to LT Mills here in a while. He went to NAVFAC when he left group, I think. Anyway, I don't know if he's in, I should call him. But yeah, dude, great time. Great time, as you can see, always some stuff going on. This is Love, my boy. He was a fucking beast. Look at him, just a fucking tank, dude. His ass, he'll save my ass. Anyway, he's a cool guy, had a great time. He was my first fire team leader in the Navy, and we ended up on deployment together. He was actually EXW coordinator here. I don't know what else. What else did you do, Love, there? I don't remember. This is them cutting the cake with this fucking excavator. They just duct taped a knife onto it. But yeah, it was a good time. I don't know why Hernandez is in PT uniform. He must have been, I don't know. Weird. So let's go next. Here's that. This is Marsters. He's a CM. So guys, you put out. CM's putting out. Alpha Dog's always putting out. But I'll tell you what. Like Marsters, right? Break your back. He's actually medically retired too now. I think he blew out like 4 discs in his back. Oh, I have a couple in my neck. But damn, dude, Marsters like, and he would do shit that I was like, I wouldn't lift it like that. But he was a great guy. He was one of the most genuine sweethearts. But he's one of the most genuine guys. But anyway, if you're a CM or an EO, especially a CM though, if you go on a detachment, like I think we had maybe like 15 pieces of equipment, like you get through your checks quick. We would have meetings, I think Monday morning, like with the debt triad, or OIC, AOIC, or ops, and we would sit there and we'd all go in a circle, and I was the expediter and MLO, and we'd all, departments, and talk. And the shop, the CM shop, pretty much is what we called it. They were like, yeah, so we've got 2 R1s, which is just 2 routine checks, and this week, and that's it. Dude, for the rest of the 4 days, they were just doing this. I would walk by and Marsters would be passed out. What a deployment for them. But this is me with some nose hair sticking out. Wow, look at that guy, huh? Fuck me. Anyway, I would send some photos. So this is the MLO yard. This was all the material that had to be accounted for. This RST here, but I was responsible for all that material. And then there was another yard that I was responsible for, as well as contracts and expediting some things, which when I say expediting, I mean, I was the one that if the civil layer project needed a Trimble system antenna, which this was a real thing, I had to come up with it. I had to figure it out. I had to find the contact. I have to go and find it. And then same goes for the CJOC. Like they wanted laser levels. So I had to convince Ben to pay for laser levels, which I was always good at convincing Ben to just get what the fuck I wanted. But it was reasonable. They didn't use the laser levels. We were in Israel. The sun was way too fucking bright. I was actually kind of pissed at the CJOC team for that one, because I'm like, dude, I gotta convince people to buy this shit, and you guys better at least put it on the fucking concrete so it looks like you're using it. But yeah, so such a fucking mentally exhausting, this job, expediting, running around Israel, finding shit, dealing with Israelis. It's insane. It's insane how mentally exhausting. Physically, it was the best deployment ever. Mentally, it was just a rape. This is the way up that mountain you saw earlier, going up there. Just gorgeous, dude. If you guys could ever go to Israel when shit calms down, it is cool. And I'm not a super Israeli I'm a religious Israeli supporter. State-wise, I could give it 2 fucks. That's not our business. I don't know why we're there. This is one of the most beautiful men in the Navy, Mr. Hewitt. He's a UT1. Hopefully he's UTC soon. I gotta call him and see. I always held his belly like he had a baby in it, just cause. He's just a sweetheart. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, Brandon. This is one of the best UTs, plumbers, HVAC guys you'll ever meet in the Navy. So if you work for him and he doesn't like you, that means you're a real piece of shit, because he is one of the sweetest men ever. This is an Argentinian wine, Alamos. It's a Malbec. This was for my father, but it was just crazy to see it all in Hebrew. I thought that was wild. Let's see. This was a foreign clearance. So this was the embassy in Israel. And just to give you an idea of things we had to pay attention to, you could probably pause. And this is not OPSEC. This is, they would put this out to anybody that was any U.S. citizen and stuff that was in Israel at the time. And embassies do this in general in foreign nations. But so U.S. government employees, they were highlighting what would pertain to us, are prohibited from entering the Old City on Fridays during the month of Ramadan. So it'd get fucking wild in Old City, which Old City is like, you have Jerusalem, just the city in general. It's beautiful, very big. And then you have Old City, like Jesus Time City. And it's like Old City, that's what it's referred to. So you were not allowed to go there on Fridays during the month of Ramadan because the Muslims would get crunk. And it's very crazy. I mean, they have Christians in the quarter. They have Armenian Christians in the quarter. Then they have the Jewish quarter. And then they have the Muslim quarter. And it is like, it's wild, dude. It's like a prison. It looks like one of those documentaries you watch about prisoners and shit. But let's keep moving on because the SKU one is going to be a long one. I mean, guys, this is going to be a long video. Skip through it. And for you guys that are watching just for fun, cool, watch it. For you guys that are interested in SKUs, you can skip ahead. But it's going to be a longer video because I'm going to try and get into it as much as I can, giving you good information without giving you bad information. But if I do give you bad information, SKU coordinators, like do your fucking job and type in the comments like David's wrong here, he's a bitch. This is what it is. That's the whole point of this. Okay, let's help these fucking kids out. So they already got an idea when they get to battalion instead of being reamed in the ass. Anyway, U.S. Embassy recommends that U.S. citizens carry a copy of their passport and some form of photo identification when traveling at all times in Israel. Funny story. Me in the OIC, my officer in charge, Lieutenant Mills, had to go to Bethlehem because I had found a carpenter there that would do a special job. You know, one of our senior chief was retiring, so he wanted to get like an anchor carved out. So we got a hand-carved olive wood anchor, you know, to represent the goodbye, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, we had to go to Bethlehem. We weren't supposed to go that day. We were going literally into town, 10 minutes into town, into Ashdod, north of Ashkelon, to grab something. And then he was just out of the blue like, and I remember this, we were leaving base and I said, oh, I forgot my ID, my ID, fuck. We got to turn around. And he's like, nah, dude, don't worry about it. We're not going nowhere. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, he wants to go to Bethlehem. And at this point, I forgot I don't have my ID. He forgets I don't have my ID. We get into Bethlehem. And mind you, it's like it's like the Mexican border times 4. Like, they don't play games with Palestinians and the Jews. Like, Palestinians are allowed to come in. Jews are not allowed to go in. Think of it that way. They're not allowed to go into Palestine, but Palestinians are allowed to come and work in Israel. And so security was very hyped up because of obviously what's going on, and terrorists and shit was going on at that time. Not yet, but just about. Hamas was about to go ham in 2021. But yeah, we go into Bethlehem, which is in Palestine, technically. And we're coming out and he's like, I need your ID. And of course, LT Mills pulls his out and I immediately am like, oh my God. And I'm a darker type guy and I had my hair slicked back. You know, I looked European. I didn't really look Palestinian, but I could definitely pass as an Arab, I think. And I didn't have mine. And he's like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, I told you, dude, I did not have my ID. Why did we come here? And so we get stuck at that gate for about 20 minutes being questioned and searched. And I remember saying to them, like, do you hear me speaking English? How well I speak? You think I'm a fucking Palestinian? I said, I'm working for you. We're here for you guys. We don't even want to be here. You know, and finally, all they did was like, all right, we'll just open the trunk because I guess an officer came by, an Israeli one. We talked for a minute and he was like, all right, let him through. But crazy, dude. They're not kidding with that. So if you're in Israel or if you're at a place and the embassy says carry that shit, carry it. Not allowed to use public transport. That's true. I remember that. Even though we use the scooters, the green scooters, all drivers are required to carry fluorescent vests in the car at all times. Never, dude. We played bumper cars in Israel. Dude, you play bumper cars in Israel. I got it bad. Obviously, some of my injury which I'll just plainly say right now, I have severe stenosis and nerve damage in my neck. And it obviously messes up a lot with my body. And that's what I was medically retired for, a portion of it. And yeah, a severe car wreck in Israel. They don't fucking, it's wild, dude. You think you're going to go on deployment and fucking get messed up by a severe conflict. And you can, and you do in different ways, absolutely. But you never think like, I'm going to get fucking T-boned by a Palestinian guy who then chases you and starts punching your window in and stuff. And we're just trying to, it's wild. And the cops don't give a fuck. Anyway, back to Ein Gadi, so beautiful. This is the Dead Sea, the sea that you can float on. And oh my goodness, dude, make sure you go to a beach shore because all this is salt. That is crystallized salt. That's where we went. You just walk on it and it hurt. You get cut and then you go into this literally just salt bath and it hurts so bad. This is restriction of movement. We had video games set up for 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. We were stuck in this warehouse. It was over 50 of us. It was a nightmare. All right, now going to this. This is my gear. I was a B3 at the time. Charlie Company. I was Delta Company. I don't know why it says Charlie Company. At the time, I was Delta Company. But anyway, you got your 3-day pack, assault pack. You got your Alice pack. You got, and then your 2, I don't know what fucking luggage packs. I could find for my friend who was asking, my boy, whoever was commenting and asking about the gear. I could not find, usually I have a photo of the actual like laid out gear for gear inspection. But I couldn't find it today, but I found the list. So what we'll do here, and I should have went through these first. This is a group of friends that I went to Ein Gadi with. This is the cave that supposedly David hid in when he was hiding from Saul. So that was cool. This is me behind, and this is for you guys. I was a BU. But the EOs needed some help because some of them got busy. So they had a freaking front loader. What's it called? They had a front loader open. And they were like, you want to try it? And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. So we were just grading this, kind of pushing it around. I really don't remember what, but that was fun. So you can get your license. Like I would go to the license examiner right there and be like, I want a temporary license for the front loader. And then this EO in the dozer would be watching me and kind of supervising. And he would just write, okay, 8 hours he did this, 8 hours he did it again, trained. So you do it for like 40 hours and then you go to your license examiner, you do a little test and performance test, and then you have your license, dude. And then you're a fucking baller. So much fun. This was us at Ein Gadi again. As you can see, the socks and the short shorts had to fucking come out. Shit was hot. This is Rodriguez. He was a cop from like LA or something. I think he got out. This is what I looked like in Israel, to be honest. And this is what I looked like when we were coming back from Bethlehem. And yeah, so I was sitting, I can't remember his name. He was a cool little CM. Fuck, dude, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. He's a cool guy, but he sat with me. And we were stuck in our rooms and I could not stand it. Remember, this was during COVID. You weren't allowed to go out. You weren't anything. So I was like, I'm going to dress up. I'm going to look good. And I'm going to sit on my fucking Rhoda porch. And I sat there. Some of them laughed at me. Some of them came and sat with me. It was what it was, but got me through it. This was in Israel. The moment the Israelis and the Israeli cook Aaron found out I was Argentinian, he insisted I would grill, which I, of course, were being raised by an Argentinian father, said, fuck yeah. And there's some other photos of me with all that. It was like 150 steaks, but I just I couldn't find it. So, oh, there's another photo of that. This is a timber bunker during home port, and this was, you can see it in real time. We'll see some renders later, but this is super enjoyable to do. I loved building. I loved it, and this was like the first class project I was on, and it was so much fun. This is us pulling sea wire. This is Gay Boy Gunner, my friend here. I don't know why he doesn't have his patches. I think because in a training environment, you don't need them, so people don't want to mess them up. But you're pulling sea wire. You're going to see a little mini, this is a little mini ECP that we had for CPX. And CPX is more of a comms effects. And if I'm wrong, I mean, that's what I always got out of it. The last CPX I was in, I was doing comms in the tent. But It's really just to establish communications. You set up, do a little mini camp, and then you're just kind of practicing, making sure everything works before FTX. And that's CPX. And then they have NIX or NEX or something. I can't remember. It's with like khakis and chiefs.
What are you gonna do?
You guys have to take a shower.
We cannot use the photo body. I will piss in the bush. I will use my penis.
You guys will go back.
I will piss in the bush. And they will say
take a
that.
shit out there.
Yeah.
The guys from SCW will probably
They
see
are
you guys.
imbeciles. That's what they are. I don't.
So obviously you get really fucking bored, especially in the ECP where you're just sitting. I don't know why, but that FTX, and we had our S6, I think it's S6 is the code. But you have a gunny. In battalion, you have one Marine with you, one Marine gunnery sergeant. And he's your gunny, and he's pretty much just your straight military advisor, like real guy that's like, yo, we see combat all the time. Obviously Marines, right? And I don't know why, but that between him and I, this FTX was like straight Nazi Germany. We just thought it was the funniest thing, and we would just talk to each other like that. That was not him who I was talking to. I don't know who I was talking to, but I'll have to find some other videos. There's some good videos. There's actually a couple guys out there that has me shooting and screaming it's a jam on FTX, because it was the end of FTX. It was fun. But anyway, let me turn this around. So here you could pause it, my dude, but this is, as you can see, 2020 NMCB11's FTX gear. And if you're really that curious, you can search it up on YouTube or Google and probably see an image of most of these. But the one thing I will point out is our Kevlar vests and plates. We returned them and got these new, smaller, so much better vests. So you're gonna see us with these old fucking 2000s Afghanistan, Iraq, old, you know, flak jacket vests and IMTVs, and it was just insane. Or not IMTVs, I'm sorry. Where am I seeing it? Am I not seeing it? I fucked up. That is it, isn't it? Kevlar. Yeah. Yep. The Seabee plates. So I'll have to cut that. But anyway, you'll have that vest, and you'll see it soon. And it's so ugly, dude, and shitty. But it gets. We got some new ones, dude. And they're fucking high speed. So much more comfortable. So much smaller. Really, just like plates carriers rather than fucking massive just shit cloth. This is my little baby girl, Salem. I probably won't show this. I'll skip this one. This is me. I have no idea why I took this picture or why this picture was taken. But I was in my boots ready to go. In my fucking Johns. So let's see. Here you can see the ECP. At the time it was a... Oh wow, HM Estrada. HM1, he's a chief now. And Fairweather is a chief now. Oh no, he's still B1, I think. He's at group. Anyway, I'm getting carried away. You're gonna have watch bills. That's what they're called. You'll just have watch bills. And as you can see, Pavens and I had these bills. I don't know what I was doing, but yep, pretty wild. This is this sweet friend of mine, Talbert. He was doing CSC that year, convoy security element. And I saw him and I texted him this photo, and this is him literally looking at the photo that I sent him right here. I know it's crazy, weird. I guess that's impossible, but anyway, I sent him something, and I sent him this photo to right before, whatever. I sent him a fucking photo, and he's looking at my phone, or looking at my text. So that's cool. Convoy security element, I don't think they do that anymore. This is during COVID, so we all had to wear masks. Super gay. But we're in the back of the convoy. You can see the convoy. It's pretty long, pretty fun. And this all takes place in SCWs, dude, so we'll get there. Here's your teacup with your little mat, and you're so sleepy. Look at that, little BU3 Rutco. Here's all our guns, our BFAs on it. But yeah, this is top tier FTX right here, main body. Sleeping in a teacup. This is Gunner and I. If you've ever heard me say Gunner on the channel, this is a gay boy right here. He's a sweet boy. And there I am, and this is during FTX. ECP, we were entry control point, you know, and also, so Delta company, but we were in charge of the entry control point here, and then we were doing QRF, quick reaction force. So that's us. Again, enjoying our lives in that hot ass fucking Mississippi Shelby sun. I think it's the same photo. There I am again. So excited to be there. And again. This was our first FTX, so we were super high speed and excited to be there and taking photos and whatnot. And any motherfucker that says they're not like that when they first get in, and you're gonna be like, I'm not gonna be like that. Okay. Fucking faggot. Okay. Yeah, but here we go. This is Lee, or Lay, I think it's Lay. Anyway, he was a CE2, sweetest guy. I think he was going to Okinawa, Japan after this, pretty shortly after. He was a nice guy, I hope he's doing well. Here's Marsters, dude. So look, there he is on FTX with me, and this was about 6 months before deployment. Yeah, we kind of stuck around quite a bit. Here's my little girl, and MCB11 to Israel. I didn't know, I think Talbert was the guide on for that. I didn't think he was. This is me and Olagi, and we're on C-130 there, on our way to Israel. That was fun. It was cold as fuck. That's why we're all dressed warmly. This is me in Israel, or not Israel, this is me in Sigonella in Italy. So this, it was a layover. So the C-130 flew to Sigonella. We were there for a day, overnight pretty much, and then went from Sigonella to Israel. But this was so much fun. The Italians, everything was closed. This was not supposed to be happening, but a whole fucking detachment, 50 people, showed up at this restaurant, and we're like, are you guys open? And they're like, oh no. And we're like, oh, that sucks, because we're all here to eat. And the owner was like, I don't fucking care, fuck it. Open it up, we're serving them. Dude, we got the cheapest drinks and food. It was the best, and they were the sweetest people. This is back at that FTX again. As you can see, oh, Gunner must have been, I was like 28. Gunner was, and I'm young, 28, but, dude, not after kids and shit, but, Gunner must have been 21 or something, but fucking just ripped to the shit, having no problem. Look at him, he's having a great time, and I'm over here like fucking dying slowly. Yep, there's that same photo again, or a little bit different. Yeah. Here's me on the 50. As you can see, they're just blanks. Damn, dude, but those are fun to shoot. Those are intense. Pew, 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 motherfucker. So this is now future, and this is Donnie. This is DeSalvo. And there I am. And there's Leno, one of the saltiest babies. He went to be an RDC. I don't know. What are you doing, Michael, now? There's me and my sweet girl. I do love my sons. Salem always asks for pictures to see, and so I took a few out to show her. Here we go. Seabee special breed. The average Seabee is a thick-headed individual of a variety of nationalities. He won't admit it to anyone, anywhere, except in the defense of his corps, that his the best job in the Navy. It fucking is. Without him, the fleet would have nothing to gripe about, Marines would have nothing to talk about, and history would have nothing to write about. That was such a fucking good, so good, so true. Anyways, you can see, for you guys that are coming in, you got your bolt there, your fucking, what is that called? Driver handle? I don't remember. Charging handle, your pin, firing pin, stock and all that, but you learn to take your shit apart. Not as well as Marines. That's my rival. No, we're not like that. We just learn the basics and become efficient in it. We're not super good, but we are efficient. And I'm probably going to get raped by tactical bees here, because remember we talked about that. I was a projects bee, so of course I was not too concerned with the weaponry and tactics, but other people were. Anyway, you can kind of see, there's our cots, and here's my ugly mug, but then in the back, you can just see, like, that's what it was for 2 weeks. It was a nightmare. It was so fucking bad. But you can get your SKUs done, and we'll get there. EXW and SKUs, I did it in 2 weeks. All the paperwork and the books, the stuff like that. There's a couple other things you do, like the 301 and 302 programs, which is maintenance, 3M. There's my baby again. Here's that 50 disassembled. And this is crew serve. I was taking photos of it. And there we are at the gate again. But now that's done, so that's good. So now we can get on with SKU and murders. This is perfect. SKU murder board and other shit. So again, it's going to kind of be all over the place, but let's see if I can make this not be all over the place. So, yeah, let's just do this. essentially when you do SKUs, you're going to do boards. You're going to have to knock 3 times, do a march, and then say what you need to say. So-and-so BU2 Rudco reporting for murder board, blah, blah, blah. I honestly don't remember the gist. It's kind of, it goes in and out. And this is what happened in Israel. But here's a first photo. This is not mine. This is a photo from a friend when I was doing it who already got their SKUs. She had sent me this. And was like, this is pretty much what your board should look like, right? That part of it. And so you can pause it and look at it. And we'll keep going. This is my murder board. So you can see I've got it all written out there and all my, my comms plan, my FOB plan, my camp plan, my convoy plan, my range cards and firing plans, and all that shit. And my MOCC wheel, your embark wheel, and then like your OSMIAC, situation, execution, all that stuff. So, et cetera, et cetera. You can pause it and look. So essentially what you do is you go through a murder board first, as it's called. So you get all your stuff and you want to do a practice board, right? And it's called your murder board because it's supposed to be harder than your final board. If you get past your murder board, the idea is you're pretty much getting your SKUs. If that murder board passed you and you go onto your final board, your actual coordinator and chairman is what it's called, is going to be like, all right, cool, he's done. Like he's going to do it for me, but they passed him. This should be good to go. That's the idea. It didn't always happen that way, of course. I was mind blown. But yeah, so this is the murder board, and they just rape you on it. But I did pretty well, I think. And in fact, they're taking a picture of this. It was really uncomfortable because there's like 15 people in the back because you can sit them in the back and just observe. So they can learn, people can learn and see how it is. And I was like, damn, of course. And I was the first one to do my SKUs in Israel and my EXW, and it was on ROM, which was crazy cool. So this is a weapons tracker. This is like an inventory, a TOA, what is given to you during your hypothetical, OSMIAC, and we'll get to that, but your hypothetical situation. Here's your comms. This is all the comms you have. Like the 310 radios, like you didn't have any 152s, which for fun, guys, 310s are non-encrypted and 152s are encrypted. It was weird they gave me all encrypted because usually you get 310s and you have to be very specific about, your comms there. So that's a part of the OSMIAC, but I want to get to, it's kind of annoying. I should have done this beforehand, and we'll get to it. But you could say this was like the life for 2.5 weeks. It was just people trying to figure out what to fucking do and how to live their life in a box. And all I did was this. Most of them were hanging out, playing around, but I was like, I'm gonna get this done. So this is like the board here. You can see this. Course of action, EMP, END. I don't remember what that is. I genuinely don't, but acclamation of climate, salute reports, SIG acts, significant acts, friendly forces in the area, execution mission. And we'll go over it, but I'm skipping a couple forms or papers, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but here we go. So this is kind of the gist of the board, and I was getting an idea of how I was going to have my board, and you can kind of see how it's like from up, down, left, right, and all that. So camp layout is what it's called, not range card, fire plan, all that, blah, 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 blah. So I'm just going through these photos because they're really self-explanatory kind of, but so then I'm like, all right, cool, well, this is my camp plan here. That's going to be where my comm plan is. That's going to be my fire plan. And DED, I can't remember. It's decontamination zone, I think. It's like where you've been in you're in hazmat and all that shit. And you need to clean off, pretty much. Decontaminate. So these are acronyms you have to memorize during your board because they're going to ask you, after you do your board, you present it, right? It should be like 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, 30 minutes maximum. They don't want it too long. They want it concise and efficient and deliver the message. Always say, hold all questions until the end. If you don't say that, some fucking retard on the board is going to go like, well, wait a second, and they'll just do it to trip you up. So make sure to say that. Anyway, so you're going to learn all this stuff, and after you do your board, you'll have to sit down, and they'll kind of give you a momentary critique there. Be like, that was good job, take a breath. All right, now and then they go through each section of your SKUs, and your command specific SKUs books, because there's 2, and they ask you questions. and you have to answer them. You got to get like, I think 9 out of 10 or 7 out of 10, something like that. So here we go. This is I think this is my final board here. So you can see like acclamation on my OSMAC. We were going to the Philippines. It's warm, wet. Salute report. You know, this is like you spotted an enemy. So you're saying we don't know how many there are. The activity is there's various IEDs, locations in Philippines. They're in civilian clothing. This happened on the 19th of April. Equipment, unsophisticated weapons and comms, etc. So let's see. I didn't remember it. EMP course of action, conducting reconnaissance. Oh, this is like your primary course of action, and then your, I think, and then the enemy's course of action. So your course of action and the enemy's course of action. That's right. I remember now. And so they're just trying to fuck us up. SIGACs, these are things that like IED under a bridge. This was at 16 Romeo Bravo Victor Niner 5350223 on the 19th of April 2019. And these are coordinates, land nav coordinates, and you'll see them spotted on the map, which you have to plot on the map. So for you SCU guys, again, I'm really doing this for you, dude, whoever commented, and for future SCU people. Again, go to your SCU coordinator. They will have updated information. This shit might not even be relevant anymore. It might be different, but at least you got to see what Seabees were doing in the 2010s, I guess, and 20s, early 20s, late 10s, early 20s. But, you know, I'm going through it. It's going to be a long video, it is. So you're going to plot that on there. Friendly forces. You got Hire, 22 NCR, Sky Daddy. You get to do your own code names. And remember, guys, Sky Daddy. That's why in Israel it was like, I had it in my head. Sockpack EOD was Froggy and Bang Bang. And then I had the 256 Infantry Brigade. We call them Crayons, Marines. I love you guys. 238 Air Support, Dove. Then we have Support Unit, MEV Direct Air Support, which is Cruise, I think, after Tom Cruise. But mission, Air Debt is pushing out to Davao Airport. We'll be in construction of FOB in the vicinity, which, guys, we're Seabees. That's like our fucking job, constructing FOBs, forward operating bases. Here's an MOCC wheel. Bound Out Control Center is what it stands for, and it pretty much just goes through those, and it's dispatch, collateral, fuel, defuel, wash rack, shop. And this is really heavy alpha. Obviously, it's convoy, but you guys that are going to be CMs and EOs will really understand that wheel more than a Charlie type. So departure, NMCB 11 main, and then we're going to the airfield 22 NCR, cargo planes. We got 4 C5 Galaxies. Wow. Those are fucking huge. I can't believe they gave us that. That's unrealistic. C's 15 pieces, MREs 335 cases. And you have to do the math, like it's 335 cases of MREs, there's 12 MREs in a case. Is that enough for the time frame and the amount of people? And your murder board and your final board will calculate it and make sure you're right. Ammo, rapid resupplies from main body S4, which is supply department, CSE, QRF, available and standing by for arrival. Here's my order of march. And now, listen, I'll say all this. So there's a lot on here for you guys that are freaking out. One, they don't even, for you asking about the SKUs, just recently, when I was getting out, battalion was saying, because you used to get battalion even as a non-rate, and they would be like, get your SKUs, get your SKUs, get your SKUs. But the problem is then you weren't learning your job, you were learning tactics. And it was like, we're Seabees, we need to learn our job before we learn our tactics. So that finally got up high enough that I don't think you can get your SKUs, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, unless you're like a 3rd class or a 2nd class. Like that's when you need to get your SKUs now, like a 2nd class. And you had non-rates with SKUs and EXWs, ones that did bomb out, and you were like fucking badass. But I guess now that's not so important anymore. Now it's just get your job, know your job. And again, I was a project SPE, so I totally understood that, and I fought for it. But anyway, back then I was a 3rd class, and supposedly you didn't need to have your order of march, which is your convoy. You didn't need to have your decontamination plan. Like as you get higher, whether you're requalifying for your SKUs in battalion or you didn't have it for whatever reason, you're like a 1st class, you had to do more work, of course, because you should know more. So it was kind of like with rank, you had to know more. So as a 3rd class, I did not need to know. That was what they told me. They're like, David, you did not need to know this, Rutko. But yeah, you can see execution. And we'll get to the OSMIAC. And I'm saying OSMIAC because it's an acronym. salute report, SIG O's, mission, me, execution, me, act, and it's like, I don't know why logistics admin, it's admin, and then command, admin command, not logistics, admin command. So you can see it. Anyway, you got your order of march, and it's like vehicle, gun truck, field of view, LSS, via ambulance in the middle, and then all your Cs. So that's one board. And then here's the second board you have to do. And you've got about 7 hours. You start your day at like 7 a.m. And you have like 7 hours to do it because your board is scheduled for like 1400. It could be different. It could be a little less, a little more. But you have to come out with your camp layout, which here's the camp layout. And you got your C-wire. You've got, 60 meters off your main pit here. And then you got your supplementary pits around. You've got C stationed all around. Your armory, your COC, your BAS. And then this was a big one, your ECP. Mine was very structured, and it doesn't have to be. You want it to be good, and it's always better to be more than less. I promise you. And that was what I was told, was like, David, you did too much. You didn't have to do this much, which is like, okay, that's not a bad criticism, right? So you can see the legend here, and at any time you can pause this and review it. And then you got your comms plan here. So you see all, you got your 3 here, and this is the channel they're using, the frequency. Then it goes up here to hero, and then to king, and then adjacent units, blah, blah, blah. Here's your fire plan. This is your pits, and you can see here down here, like what is tactical wire, what is protective wire, and what is supplementary wire. Tactical pretty much just means it tactfully funnels them. As you can see, they funnel into the line of fire. Protective wire is just like the barrier, like the main cordon. And then supplementary is like confusing wire just thrown out there. And then you got your fire teams, and you got your squad leader, gunner. So your squad leader and grenader are back here, not gunner, grenader. Because your grenadier, I say grenader. Your grenadier is always with your squad leader. And then you've got your fire teams in the front pits. And then you've got grazing fire, and then like left and right lateral limits. And then there's something that I cannot recall in the moment, but it's where you whip your your crew serve. Yeah, you do. Your crew serves, your 50s, and your because 240s is what you're gonna have in your pits. 240s, you're not gonna have 50s in your 4. You won't have enough. Maybe one day in real life or in real time, but like you usually don't. Your pits are manned with 240 Bravos, but you got 50 cows on your Humvees and stuff. But it's like Blockbuster, and it's pretty much like, yo, we're at the end of we're no longer actively firing small farms. They're coming from on all sides. So lock the cordon, and you whip, you position, and you'll have to do this with your range card and your fire plan, but you whip your 240, your crew serve, all the way to the left or all the way to the right, and just start firing. And it pretty much creates a cordon, a circle of bullets, so that if they were to come close, that was that. You were going to have an issue. They weren't going to be able to get through it. And I can't remember what it's called. I think the call sign was Blockbuster. Like that's what you needed. That's what it was. But I honestly don't remember. But it's really fucking cool. So you learn all that. Here's your detailed equipment decontamination. This is what it was. And you can pause this too. And this is literally just like a, stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all that stuff. Cleaning vehicles that were exposed to chemical, biological, radiological things or not. So that was the next one. Let me pause it real quick. All right, so here you can see, always put not to scale and everything because they'll say that too. Here's your wind, blah, blah, blah. Here's true north and all that. But as you can see, here's the landing zone. Here's the decontamination zone. Here's the forward operating base. And it's pretty much they give you this map and you have to plot it. And this is also what they're going to reference when you're doing like land nav, for your camp. But they won't really do it with that. You're going to see it coming up. They do it with another map. Here's some other stuff, and you can, this was a board that I put stuff on. Listen, dude, put everything you know in your head on a board, because you can turn around and look at the board if they ask you a question. They cannot say, don't look at it. You can turn, at least they used to. If, like, for example, what's your 9 lines, David? I could turn around and just read them, and that counted. So There you go. And shout out to Winion. He said it was 5 lines. You see, dude, I used to remember. I used to know. It's 5 lines. You have a 9 line to get for your medevac. 5 lines they need immediately so that they can get the bird in the air. Here's like safe, ADRAC. You're setting safe when you get there. CSE is really involved in that. 11 classes of supply. These are, look, you see I even put data dump. So you know. So sustained, rapid, and cyclic. M4, I don't know, I don't even remember what that's referencing. I think it's referencing firing. But yep, M4, your max distance, and all this other shit. Again, shout out to CM1 Bolin. He was attacked to full B. He knew his job, but he was like, he knew all this shit by heart. He loved it. Guns, and I think he has a 240 Bravo tattooed on his chest. Here's any CCCOC, and you need to know this. So you need to know your COC. And put it up there. EPW handling, beat the shit out of them. I'm just kidding. But yeah, dude, just data dumping, put it on there. Here's a range card, you're gonna have to know it. Please, somebody tell me I was wrong. And I honestly, to this day, still don't think I know how to specifically set out or draw out a range card. So Marines, go ham, dude. I imagine you can at least do that, right? You can draw, right? Color. All right, here we go. This is the map I was referring to. So you get this map of Camp Shelby, and pretty much you're given on your OSMIAC coordinates, and you have to plot them to show that you know how to plot everything. So, and then you get to draw your convoys, you know, routes, and then a secondary route, you know, an emergency route. And you kind of, you say, this is where Sky Daddy's at, this is where Cruise is at, all that stuff. But then you also put, let's see if I can spot it. Here's checkpoints that you'd write. And you got to get all this down. You do. You just have to. That's why it's difficult to get your SKUs, or at least once upon a time. I think they redid SKUs OSMIACs because people started cheating and shit. Sorry guys, I'm trying to jump around and look. Usually I think there's one. You write down your SIGACs or plot them so that they can see where and what happened. And what to avoid, because you don't want to go obviously in the same area. You have an RFI log, request for information, and it's pretty much like, okay, can I get CSE? Because they didn't say it. And your chairman will approve or deny. I need 10 porta-johns with civilian contractors, 4 waste containers. Approved, you know, all this stuff approved. I guess I wanted one more 50 for some reason, and they said no. I don't know how they gave me C5s. 4 C5s? Are you insane? Yours are huge, by the way. And then arrival carrier group, and then departure carrier group. I think it's carrier group or receiving group. I don't remember. But HESCOs, crew systems, water fuel, 12K, which is a generator. Yeah, and you see, so I took some pictures of it, and this is what my board looked like, my final. So I presented, they all sat here. And I presented, and then at the end I was able to sit down, and then they quizzed me pretty much. So yeah, so we'll zoom in and kind of, you guys can pause it and kind of see how I set this board up. And usually you were in uniform. I wasn't in uniform for my murder board, I didn't have to be, but I was in uniform for my final board. And sometimes I've heard that you had some people requested to be in their peanut butters. We were on deployment, so obviously I was in my type 3s. But here we go. So that other one, this is my final board. My other one was my murder board. So you can see I upgraded. You know, I added a lot. I was a lot more thorough and neat. So Lieutenant Commander Hess, I can say this now. She's the hottest XO ever. I don't know where you are, Lieutenant Commander, but you remember us singing Aladdin? We sang Aladdin together. Borderline fraternization. We sang Disney together. And on facts, it was amazing. She has a piece of my heart still. Don't tell my wife. I'm just kidding. But yeah, 12 steps to embark. That's the MOCC wheel. I'm pretty sure, if I remember, they're the same. Yep, convoy route, checkpoints, you know, lost Seabee plan. Here's the convoy order of march. That was, yeah, so that was my RFI log. That's all there. Here's my, I think it's, this is updated, so this one remained kind of the same. Yeah, no, this was updated because Savior, Noble 1 and Noble 2. Shout out to Halo Reach. That's where I got Noble 1 and Noble 2. Noble 6. But here's my camp layout. Really fun. I really enjoyed this. I really did. I enjoyed it. Learning it was so fucking rough because, again, I learned all this in 2 weeks, and you're not going to think it, and a lot of you are going to talk mad shit. That's impossible, blah, blah, blah. Suck a dick, dude. I could show you. I probably still have my SKUs work. And if not, you can go call my chief at the time, who's a Master Chief now. But, yep, I won't go over it again. I'll just let you look. Again, this is the final board. And let's see if I did it on this one. I thought you're supposed to, I'm pretty sure. Guess not. See, and then you've got your little legend up here. Your primary, secondary route. Your landing zone, your checkpoints. Cam 1 to infinity. I don't know what that means. I don't remember. Here's me working on it late night, learning, all about range cards and stuff and my fire plan and that's what I did. I took advantage of it because you know what happened is once everybody started working, guess what? David didn't have to worry about SKUs or EXW. I fucking had it done. Here we go. So here's your OSMIAC. Your orientation, situation. Let's see if I can remember it. OSMIAC. Orientation, situation, OSMIAC, mission, execution, admin, command, OSMIAC. And so it's pretty much this. This is an older one. This is not being tossed around anymore because somebody cheated and passed it out so people could pretty much do their board before. And you can pause. I don't know where that shit is. But here you can see I was drawing out my boards. Great coffee. Wonderful. Learning. That's cool. Actually, if you go to my shadow box series, you can see my Israeli. You see my Israeli book? You always had a little green book. I don't know what this is. Yeah. This is a part of the OSMIAC, I think. But you can see this now. We're going on to execution, and you can read through it, the intent, concept. Oh yeah, if you're doing your board, always read the commanding officer's intent. You must read it. And then also say if he dies at the end, then this is who's taking charge. But you can see how I started already process and kind of getting an idea. It was really enjoyable doing this. Logistics signal command. Say if the OIC becomes a casualty, the OIC will assume command of the air det, 60 over COC. So this is, I don't know what 60 over COC is. This was not mine. This was given to me as it was an older one for me to practice with. But yeah, so you read commander's intent, and also if the OIC becomes killed, this is who takes over. Here's your cease. And yeah, so that's your SKUs and murder board. I guess I had some pictures or redundant pictures of the final board, which no, that wasn't the final. Yeah, so these are all that's final. These are all redundant, so we've gone over all of them. All right, now we're gonna go to EXW, which is very short. Once you're done as a Seabee with your Seabee Combat Warfare, you can usually get your Expeditionary Combat Warfare, Expeditious, NECC, because you are an Expeditious Force. Believe it or not, you are a combat force, your combat rate in the Navy. Isn't that weird? Usually it's only SEALs and, I don't know, EOD. But SEALs are not under NECC, they're under their own command. I don't know, somebody knows it. Fucking high-speed fucker. But we're with NECC. EOD is actually under NECC with us, so Explosive Ordnance Disposal. All right, so this is just some stuff, high-value asset. These are just notes on the EXW, and I probably have it somewhere. I just didn't look, but you can see you got to know your commands all the way down, NECC down, and the different units. NCG2, NCG1, NEIC, Naval SG, and you have to, and there's EOD, remember what I was just saying? There's EOD GRU 2, EOD GRU 1 on the West Coast and East Coast. And yeah, there's just quite a bit that you need to know on that one, but EXW, dude, is fucking monumentally easier, in my opinion. Here's my board, so I did show it. So pretty much all you needed to know was NECC breakdown. Okay, and then you needed to have an idea, here's my high value asset, we're at a dock, here's my legends, level 1, scoff levels, level 2, 3, 4, I think this is like, I don't remember. Somebody type in what SCOF is. C combat of force or escalation of force. Here's CO1, which is the threat coming in. So I don't know what that says. A sort of acknowledgement? I don't know. Interception and reaction. So it gets, the closer this thing gets to your high value asset, you need to send one of your boats out to meet it and like blow it up. Screening vessels, react vessel. That's what it's called. Something of interest. It's like I don't know. It's fucking nautical terms. Boat. I don't know. But you can see here. Cool. So, and then I don't know what this map was for. I don't know what I was doing with that. But anyway, and what's so easy as a Seabee to get your NECC, or your NECC, to get your EXW as a Seabee is a lot of it's redundant. Almost 75% of your EXW was already in your SCW, SKU. Sorry, you call it EXW and then you call it SKU. So it's just redundant information, so you already know it. But that's it, it looks like for that. Not much there that I have for you, sorry. And then, so that's what it is. I'm gonna pretty much end it here. I'll do a quick look, show you of the FTX projects you'll do. You know, things are changing these days. Again, we were talking about cold roll steel form. But here you can see, you know, you'll get, for example, your timber bunker. Oh, well, that's actually my air debts. What's it called? Org. Here's the blueprints. Don't worry, OPSEC, you can literally find these online. I just don't know if I can open it. There we go. So pretty much this is what you're given, guys. And I want to bring this up right now because, you know, some of you guys are going to go into it and, oh, fuck, I don't know how to read it. Don't worry, you'll learn. But like for you leaders that are watching, crew leaders and fucking NECC biggies, as well as group, implement SketchUp, implement 3D modeling. I promise you, it's going to be a fucking game changer because kids, some of you guys are going to go, oh, I kind of understand that. Most of you are going to go like, I don't know what the fuck. I don't even understand. I kind of get it, blah, blah, blah. And so you'll get stuff like this for your projects. Actually, a lot harder prints to read. But you can see when I get into SketchUp here, I'm opening it up, so calm yourself down. It's loading up. Let's see, hopefully I'm already logged into my account. And I just wanted to show these renders. So as you can see, this is me just digitally building it. See, all the way from the steel plate up to the next phase, to the next phase. And I would show my guys, this is what we're building. You see, I would send them the files. SketchUp viewer is free, so they could look at it. They couldn't build, but they could look at these things, right? And then a kind of a real-time placement of what it would look like when we put it down. Granted, most of them are sandbags, but I RFI'd and got HESCOs for my bunkers. And kind of just to give you an idea of what real-time, what this damn thing looks like when you do it correctly, you know, but digitally. And so, and then in the front, you can see I would just place like, these are the pieces you need. This is the layout. Here's a, you know, a horizontal or a side view, another side view, all these side views, top, bottom. But yeah, dude, I mean, it's a game changer. So there's the timber bunker, you know, you can see how incredible it is. And it's not difficult to learn. It is not difficult to learn. So there's the timber bunker. Again, I cannot emphasize enough, group. Master Chief Soothheimer, push it, dude. You've upgraded, you're at the top, E9, there's nowhere else to go, so now make this your mission. Fucking change the game, dude, when you go to group. Change it. Make it better. Be better. And then you see we've got like the SWA hut. This one's gonna take a minute to load. There's so many lines, you know, processing, but let's open up this one. This is the SWA hut. Super fun. If there's any build to really understand and learn, guys, as a builder, as a Seabee, do the SWA hut. It's essentially a little cabin. So you can see, dude, I mean, we start and everything is to scale. If you look at the bottom right corner measurements, right? I could take this measuring tape up here and I can measure from top to bottom. Ooh, look, it's 1'9". And if I remember correctly, you look at the prints, it has to be at least 1'9" up to, I think, 2 feet and 4 inches. I don't remember exactly, but you know, and even if you're not a Seabee, dude, and you're a Marine, or you know, a combat engineer, dude, get into it. At least beat us. If we're gonna be fucking gay about it and not implement it, do it. Air Force is probably, you guys are probably gonna be the ones to do it, and you fucking need it. I'm sorry, I love you guys, Red Horse and Prime Beef, but dude, your boys that you sent out to Israel for a few minutes, they weren't it, dude. They were not it. But that's just wild rivalry. But if we're not gonna do it, and we're gonna be fucking gay about it, because we're little upset bees, you know, we like the old way. We need to learn how to read prints. Cool. All right. Cool. I guess we'll just be left in the dust, and these fucking other kids will learn how to do stuff. And here's your HSP, hardened security post. And you see, pretty much that's. I mean, you can do it with any project, and I have it on my laptop, my work laptop. I should show you guys some other real-time projects that are not OPSEC, you know, risks. And I think I did show one picture of an airfield. Not an airfield, but a Osprey landing pad. But look, dude, I mean, even for my SKUs, like, this was later on. I didn't use this for my SKUs, but I mean, like, look at this, dude. You can make camps after you build your digital assets. Can you imagine? This is the fucking way to do it. Somebody call me from the Seabees. I'll do something for you guys, but anyway, you can see there's the SWAT hut, there's the bunker, there's the hardened sentry point, and check it out. Look who's come to see us. Dun, 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 dun. I think that's China, actually, but who fucking cares about them? Anyway, that's where we're going to end up this video, dude. I know it was a longer one, but I really wanted to get into in-depth and SKUs and a little bit, and just a brief little idea of EXW. None of it's OPSEC stuff. That's all fake OSMIACs, you know, hypotheticals for you to learn on. And don't worry about currents, those are old. And if you're still using them, fucking change them. SKU coordinator. And also, if you're a SKU coordinator or a CB, a tactician B, like, dude, fucking help me out here. Post corrections in the comments, share it, like it, subscribe. Let's fucking be, you know, I hate saying all that stuff, but like, let's be real. Okay, let's fucking get into it. But anyway, yeah, thanks so much for joining me for Seabee Sunday. Love you guys. Miss you guys. I hope you're well. If you're deployed, you're almost done, or you just got there. Sorry, bud. But be smart, you know. And again, I'll say at the end of this video, pray for that family of the bee who just lost his life in Mississippi. It's sad, but it happens all the time, it seems. Like, I remember, like I said, West Coast bee. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying Seabee Land. I've got some announcements coming up soon. We're going to change some things up and make it a little bit easier for us, but also maybe a little bit more enjoyable for you. So, peace out.